Hello everyone, welcome back to another Commander review for Magic the Gathering. Today, we're in the Betrayers of Kamigawa set still, and we're talking about Higure, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, the Still Wind, which is such an awesome card. This is obviously one of the other creature types from the Kamigawa block. It's ninjas, legendary human ninja, 3/4 with a mana value of 5, 3 generic and 2 blue, and it has one of the other coolest keyword abilities I've ever seen in this game. It's Ninjutsu. Ninjutsu, 2 and 2 blue. And I love that this card art does have the reminder text. So, return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand tapped and attacking. Really awesome card. We'll get a little bit more into the rules in just a second here. I'll go to that slide and we'll talk about that in just a second. But an awesome ability. And then it has a triggered ability. Whenever Higure, or Higure, the Still Wind deals combat damage to a player, you may search your library for a ninja card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. So, a ninja tutor in the command zone, which is really cool. And then for 2 blue, as an activated ability, target ninja creature can't be blocked this turn. And that does count itself. You can make it unblockable, so you know you're going to get that combat damage trigger, which is absolutely absurd. One of the coolest ninjas ever to be made. I really love this card. So let's get right on into it. Let me check. There are some card rulings here. Yeah, so 2 card rulings. If Higure deals regular combat damage to you, and you use its ability to search for another ninja, that card won't be in your hand in time to activate its ninjutsu ability to put it onto the battlefield and deal damage. However, the card you searched for could still be swapped for an unblocked creature, including Higure, as long as you activate the ninjutsu ability before the end of combat. I'll talk more about that in just a second, but that is a very important detail. Second rule, Higure deals first combat damage, or the first part of double strike damage. The triggered ability would resolve before regular combat damage, and the searched for ninja would be able to be swapped with an unblocked creature and still deal regular damage. So a quick summary of ninjutsu. If you don't know how ninjutsu works, ninjutsu, as referred to in the rule text here, is return an unblocked attacker you control to your hand, and you pretty much swap places. The creature on the battlefield, let's just say it's a 1/1 bird, it flies over the attackers, so it doesn't get blocked. If you bounce that bird to your hand, or if it was a token, it would bounce to your hand and then vanish out of nowhere. You would swap places with it, and Higure would take its place. That's the basic premises of that ability. You swap an unblocked creature you control with Higure, and then Higure is now your attacker that is unblocked. That's the basic premises. However, there are some nuanced and minute details that you should consider if you're going to be building this deck or any ninjutsu-based deck. Combat is pretty complex, but we're going to break it down really quickly and very simply. So the first thing you need to know is the ninjutsu ability will not work until after the declare attacker's step. So your opponents need to declare their blockers before you can ever use ninjutsu, because ninjutsu doesn't work unless you have an unblocked creature, and you cannot have an unblocked creature until after the declare blocker's step. So your opponent assigns their blockers, that one bird that you sent over got through and is now declared unblocked. At that moment, you are now able to use the ninjutsu ability. You can use it then, after the declare attacker step, or you can wait until the damage step, which I wouldn't recommend unless you had first strike, which we'll get right into. Generally, you want to wait till after the declare blocker step. The bird is now declared not blocked, so you can now pay the ninjutsu, swap it out before the damage step. Once you enter that damage step, the first thing that has to happen is all the creatures need to assign combat damage. That's the very first thing that has to happen before you can move on to anything else. So if you have not ninjutsu'd at this point, you are now too late. But if you did ninjutsu, your ninjas would now deal combat damage, and if they had any damage triggering abilities, those would then trigger after dealing the damage, and you'd go on happy and merry. This is where the rules of Higure specific rules come into play. If Higure dealt the combat damage, normal damage, then damage is already been done. So you tutor up that ninja and the damage has already been dealt. So swapping it into play would not do anything because that new ninja can't deal any more damage because damage has already been done. It is important to know, specifically talking about the first rule, that it is important to know that you still can do the ninjutsu, because even after damage has been dealt and then the triggers go on the stack and they resolve, all that's done, those attacking creatures are still declared as attackers. Even though they dealt damage, they are still attacking because we're still in combat. So even after the damage step, you still can ninjutsu. It's just that new ninja cannot deal damage because damage has already been dealt. But you can still get it into play for next turn if that's what you want to do. You can also do this after the damage step in the end of combat step. This is where everyone kind of goes home, but it's still combat. And your creatures are still attackers from that step. If you had any unblocked attackers in that step, you can still ninjutsu it in. They just can't deal damage, just like it was in the last step. However, if you had something like first strike or double strike, this is where things get crazy. If Higure has first strike or double strike, it would deal the first strike damage, and then those triggers would go on the stack and resolve. Before regular damage happens, you could still ninjutsu in another ninja, and then that ninja would deal regular damage, because regular damage has not been done yet, only first strike damage has. And again, that can only be accomplished if Higure has first strike or double strike to deal that first strike damage. If they can do that, then you can swap Higure or another unblocked creature with the ninja you tutored up, and then at regular damage, the new ninja and Higure, if Higure has double strike specifically, would then deal damage again. If Higure does have double strike, you would get 2 tutors from that. The first one you could ninjutsu in, the second one you could ninjutsu in as well, just the second one can't deal damage because regular damage by then has been done. That's very summarized breakdown of that. It's very confusing, I know, but essentially, as from the moment blockers are declared to the end of combat is your window to play ninjutsu cards, but bear in mind that the window's even smaller if you're trying to deal damage with those ninjas, because you have to remember, as soon as you enter the damage step, you have to deal damage first before you can do anything else. Setting that aside, my gosh, you can do some crazy stuff. So let's get right on into it. Wah! Reconnaissance mission. On top of your ninjas triggering when they deal combat damage, let's also just draw cards. And it's important to remember how you want to stack things when you have multiple combat damage abilities happen. Because if Higure does deal the combat damage and you want to draw before you tutor, You can definitely do that because they trigger at the same time and you choose how they resolve. But just bear in mind that if you want to draw first because you know the card on top is really good, maybe from like a scry or something, make sure to resolve the reconnaissance mission first so you can draw the card. Because if you use Higure's ability first, you'll have to shuffle the deck after you searched your library. So just bear that in mind on how you stack and resolve your triggers. And of course, the deck I am building with this commander is a Monoblue Ninjas. It's going to be so crazy. It's going to be very sneaky, lots of unblockable, lots of ways to give evasion. And Monoblue is one of the best ways to give your creatures all creature types. So I can make bird tokens that will be bird ninjas. So then they will get cool, crazy ninja triggers. And I can still substitute them out for my actual ninjas that have crazy ninja triggers. Lots of fun stuff. It's going to be very cool. A popular deck idea on EDH Rec is actually cloning effects. Sakashima's Student would be the card that you need to tutor up for this amongst other ninjas that can copy things. Because you want to pretty much combo off and win the game. With this strategy. Walking Ballista would be one of the ways that you do this by like copying things to like bounce and flicker. It's like a combo deck essentially, but you're using Sakashima's Student with that tutor to like copy. I don't remember what Gilded Drake does. It's like some weird, crazy, convoluted combo deck that you want to start bouncing things and stealing things from your opponents and winning the game with some crazy combo shenanigans. But you can do it with Higure, which is really cool. And then lastly, you still want to build a ninja deck because Higure is all about ninjas. But if you wanted to maybe split the difference, let's say your meta is kind of on to your ninja shenanigans and they want to like prevent your ninjas from working, kind of build like two-part deck. One part ninjas that you want to be able to benefit your triggers from, that you want to be able to benefit from, so pick all the best ninjas you want, but then build the other half to ensure that your ninjas will be coming into play for their ninjutsu abilities, so you can get them cheaper and know that they're going to be safe. So this is going to be essentially a Monoblue token deck that has a ninja sub-theme in it. And the cool thing about tokens in Monoblue is you could go a variety of different ways. I picked 3 different ways that you could build around Monoblue tokens. You could do Monoblue artifact tokens like Thopters, and Thopters have flying, which is really cool. If you want to do, you could do Monoblue servos as well and just make a bunch of servo tokens. You could do Monoblue bird tokens, which have flying, or you could do Monoblue drake tokens. And then a not as popular in Monoblue, mostly you'd see it in black or Dimir, but you could do Monoblue zombie tokens and just go wide with an army of zombies. And Monoblue actually does have a lot of zombie support in it, so you actually could build a pretty good zombie deck, go wide with zombies, and win with a go wide token deck, but then be able to play these cool, awesome ninja that support your token strategy. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. It's kind of splitting the difference between go wide and go tall-esque build-arounds, but I think it's really, really cool. And that's going to do it for Higure, the Steel Wind. Really cool card, really powerful abilities, and because of the combo potential of this commander, is really popular to build around. Ninjas obviously are a very popular tribe to build around. Like I said, again, the combo potential is absurd with this commander because of the cloning ninjas that you can play. So it does have the rank of S. There are a lot of different deck ideas you can build with this commander. So really cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there's anything I missed or I did not talk about that you guys think I should know or that you want to share with everyone else, please let me know in the comments below any deck ideas or card synergies that I did not talk about. And thank you guys again. Your support is awesome and it means the world to me. So that's all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!